is Portland's famous trendy 3rd Avenue, the Avenue of Dreams. I just happen to live on that avenue. You know what? I would like to get out of here, but I have a position here, which is something that I'm not going to just walk away from. Anyway, it is Friday, and July 4th weekend coming up. 3 days off. I'm driving. I'm actually going to take a little road trip up north. A little quick jaunt to the Great White North just for a visit this pal of mine. And then it'll be nice to get out of town. North of the border. The runs are up. And, you know, I got to tell you, I like the part-time sign-up at Merlot. I like it. I don't really like the 3-day part of that, but I do like the 5-day part of it. The overtime is gone for the full-timers, a lot of it anyway. And, you know, I don't really understand, you know, if they're going to start whining about it. Well, they whine about everything, for crying out loud. You know, no offense, full-timers, but you know, they're already whining that some of the runs that are on the part-time list should be on the full-time list, blah, blah, blah. You know, anyway, I thought it looked good, so I don't know. We'll see how this, we're not going to know until September, of course, how it all will play out in terms of the loads and stuff. From my impression of things, a lot of these cuts were taking place in Portland this time. I mean, we're losing some buses on the west side too. We're like the 52 and the 57. Two very high density routes are being scaled back. Losing a couple of those buses on each of those, which will definitely create some overcrowding on some trips. But all in all, if you really take a close look at the TriMet situation, it has fared fairly well. I mean, compared to some of the crises that are going on in some of the transit agencies, you know, they've avoided any huge catastrophe out here. To their credit, there's no huge catastrophe at TriMet, which is something they can be proud of. And, you know, places like New York City, Chicago, Detroit are having like catastrophic problems right now. And the feds, of course, they'll only fund useless shit. You know, they'll only fund things like war. They like to kill people with our tax dollars. They always love to do that. So there's billions for wars, and then they'll be happy to fund like high-speed rail for billions and streetcar construction. You know, they'll fund anything that actually doesn't help an American citizen. You know, they're cutting off American unemployment benefits, and somebody actually posted a comment on my blog. I let it stand because it was a reasonable post about how people have to get off their asses and get work. You know, there's that good old Republican ethic there, you know. Just get in those damn fields and pick that cotton and be happy you get the cotton to pick. You know what I mean? Well, you know, that doesn't wash with all of us, you know, while there's more millionaires in the history of the world right now. Okay? Some of us actually understand the dynamics of what's happening here. And we know the truth of this. And we know that there's plenty of bucks. But who it's going to is being very controlled. And through the corporate media, they're able to brainwash people into thinking things that just aren't true. But the public, being as ignorant as it is, just buys right into it. And so, what are you going to do, man? You know, so the feds are useless, as always. What have they done to do? You know, the feds really are a useless level of bureaucracy, unanswerable to anybody. The federal bureaucracy. They're not answerable to any state, any county, any city. It's just they kind of like, we run the world and we do it from here, and nobody gets to say how we do it. And the Congress, forget it, you know. And even the president turned out to be a big flop as far as I'm concerned. I mean, people are still defending him. I'm sorry. I don't see any substantial difference between him and the previous presidents. The only good thing about him was he pissed off the racists when he got elected, and that right there was worth the election, okay? To just give you, the racists lose. And that's a good thing, because racism is the most evil thing on the face of the planet. Hating somebody because of how they look. I mean, think about it, man. It's, yeah. There's a sea of brake lights, and these guys are just like speeding right up to the, brake lights. This is smart, and now it's pouring. You want to come? Another traffic jam. Everybody getting out of town, I guess. Where the hell they're going? Alright, we'll get off that road. We'll be okay. Get on the Murray Boulevard. That person behind me is itchy because I got like a big space in between me. So what? I'm not gonna get out here any faster. They don't get it. People in their cars don't get it. Professional drivers get it. It doesn't help if you're in a rush. You're not going to get there any quicker. Look at this wall of cars. This is a wall of cars. Look at that. Yeah, this is sustainable. Sure it is. I hope I'm still alive for when this car culture bites the dust. Murray Boulevard's even backed up. Can I get to Butner? I was gonna go Cedar Hills too. I didn't do it. Well, I left early today because I knew what was gonna happen today. I'll tell you, the cell phone law really has lapsed into disarray because everywhere I go, I see people texting and talking on cell phones without their hands-free device. It's like nobody cares about it anymore. So it had an immediate effect, and then it just kind of like nobody cares anymore. I knew that was unenforceable. The cops got too many other things to do than be bothered with that.